And what we eat is really our chemotherapy 3 times a day.
Meet Dr. William Li, a world-renowned Harvard-trained medical doctor, researcher, president, and founder of the Angiogenesis Foundation. His work has led to more than 40 FDA-approved therapeutics and devices for cancer, cardiovascular disease, wound healing, and vision loss. He is also a New York Times best-selling author with Eat to Beat Disease: The New Science of How Your Body Can Heal Itself. He also published another book, Eat to Beat Diet: Burn Fat, Heal Your Metabolism, and Live Longer. Are you craving something sweet but want to stay healthy at the same time? What if your favorite desserts could actually help fight cancer? In this video, we'll reveal 5 delicious dairy-free desserts packed with cancer-fighting ingredients recommended by Dr. Li. These treats not only satisfy your sweet tooth, but also support your health goals. Make sure to stick around until the end, where we reveal how to make all the delicious budget-friendly recipes. Disclaimer: Dark chocolate avocado mousse.
Chocolate is good for you, chocolate is bad for you. Which one is it, and how do we actually address this issue? I'm going to lay it on the table because I'm a chocolate lover, and tell you how I go about thinking about a solution. All right. First of all, you got to know chocolate is a confection. It's candy. Chocolate is actually made with cacao. Cacao is a plant-based food which contains polyphenols. The more cacao you have in the chocolate, the darker the chocolate, right? It's 70% cacao, 80% cacao, even 100% cacao. That's when you actually have a lot of the polyphenols from the cacao plant-based. One of the things that we look for is for healthy chocolate is the percent higher levels of cacao. The more, the better. I always say 80% or higher is exactly what you want. Okay, now, what does dark chocolate do for you? It does a lot of things. One of the most important things the polyphenols do is it recruits your stem cells. All right, that's right. We all have stem cells in our body. They were left over when we were growing in our mom's belly in the womb, and they formed our organs. All right. So when we were actually born, there were extra stem cells left over, about 70 million. All right. And they all got packed away, stored away in our bone marrow. So our bone marrow is the little the spongy stuff in the middle of our bone. If you ever took a chicken bone and broke it in half, you would actually see that brown stuff in the middle. That's bone marrow. That's packed with stem cells. So eating chocolate, the chocolate bioactives called proanthocyanidins actually calls out those stem cells into our bloodstream. It signals to them so they come flying out of our bone marrow like bees coming out of a hive, and they circulate around in our blood. And you know what they do? They look for areas that need to be fixed, like potholes in the road. They're looking for where they need to patch. And not just in your blood vessels, although that's a very important place for dark chocolate to have its activity. The proanthocyanidins, stem cells, actually fix your blood vessels, but also other organs as well, right? The stem cells are going everywhere: your brain, your heart, your liver, your lungs, everywhere. So dark chocolate is actually a way of stimulating these stem cells to come on out in order to be able to do their thing. Now, how do we know, by the way, that it actually works? Well, studies have been done where they took men who have cardiovascular disease, coronary artery disease. We know that they have ragged blood vessels, not good blood flow, and they actually can do a test called flow-mediated dilation. This is basically where you see how resilient the blood vessels are. Good, normal, healthy blood vessels are very resilient, all right? And ones that are sick with cardiovascular disease, not so resilient. So how do you study this? You basically blow up a blood pressure cuff, just like in a doctor's office, and they put an ultrasound. And when the blood pressure cuff is completely squeezed, you're actually cutting off the blood flow, all right? You count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and so on and so forth, all right? There's no blood flow going through. Then you release it suddenly, and blood jets right through the blood pressure cuff. And now you take the ultrasound to measure how quickly the blood vessels adapt and rebound after the blockage. All right. So you have no flow, all of a sudden a ton of flow. Okay. A tsunami of blood comes out. How good is your blood vessel when actually receiving it? How resilient is it? This is called flow mediated dilation, FMD. All right. Because the blood vessels have to dilate when more blood flow comes through. And it turns out that studies have looked at people who have had dark chocolate, actually cacao beverage, and they found that having the cacao beverage actually helps the blood vessels become more resilient because the stem cells have actually come out and fixed and repaired and regenerated the areas of the blood vessels in order to keep them as healthy and as resilient as possible.
Dr. Lee recommends dark chocolate avocado mousse because it's packed with ingredients that can help protect your body and fight cancer. Dark chocolate is full of antioxidants, which help fight off harmful substances in the body that can damage cells and lead to cancer. These antioxidants also reduce inflammation, which is important for keeping your body healthy. According to a review in the journal Diseases, dark chocolate, which comes from cocoa, may help prevent colon cancer. Researchers studied how cocoa's special ingredients, called flavonols, can protect our bodies. One important study found that when mice that were likely to get intestinal tumors ate cocoa flavonol called catechin, they had 75% fewer tumors. This shows that cocoa can help stop the growth of cancer cells. Another study with rats showed that those who ate a diet rich in cocoa had fewer signs of early cancer, which is a good sign for health. This information is exciting because it suggests that eating dark chocolate in moderation could be good for our health. To use this knowledge in daily life, you can try to include small amounts of dark chocolate in your snacks or desserts. Look for dark chocolate that has a high cocoa content, 70% or more, because it has more flavonols. You can also add cocoa powder to smoothies or oatmeal for a tasty treat. Just remember to enjoy it in moderation, as too much sugar and fat can be unhealthy. Avocados are another great ingredient in this mousse. They are rich in healthy fats that support your heart and help your cells stay strong. According to a review in Cancer Prevention Research, a study looked at how eating avocados might affect the risk of getting cancer. They found that men who ate at least one avocado a week had a lower chance of getting certain types of cancer, like colorectal, lung, and bladder cancer. The combination of dark chocolate and avocado creates a creamy, delicious treat that not only satisfies your sweet cravings, but also provides powerful nutrients to support your overall health. Here's a budget-friendly dark chocolate avocado mousse recipe that you can easily incorporate into your diet. Start by melting a small amount of dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content. Opt for store-brand chocolate to keep costs low. Let it cool slightly. In a blender or food processor, combine the melted chocolate with one ripe avocado, a splash of any plant-based milk like almond or oat, and a teaspoon of honey or maple syrup for sweetness. Blend until smooth and creamy. Spoon the mousse into small bowls or glasses and refrigerate for at least an hour to set. This affordable and indulgent dessert is a great way to enjoy a healthy treat without breaking the bank. Coconut yogurt with berries.
Dairy products like yogurt that help your gut microbiome actually power up your immune system, which tips the odds in your favor against cancer, especially if you're receiving immunotherapy for treating cancer. All right. So that's one of the dairy foods I want to talk about. Yogurt. Another little tip about yogurt, besides getting whole yogurt and not low-fat yogurt, is don't get pre-sweetened yogurt. You know what I'm talking about? You're talking about the yogurt that you get in a container and you look at it, it's got this like layer of sweetness to it. It's blueberry flavored, it's grape flavored, it's strawberry flavored. The stuff tastes good, but I can tell you don't do that because those sweetened layers are basically jelly with added sugar. And sometimes artificial coloring and maybe artificial flavoring. And what that does is it actually hurts your gut microbiome and adds sugar into your body that you don't want. All right. Instead, get plain whole yogurt. Cut ripe seasonal fruit. You want strawberries? Get some ripe strawberries during the summer. You want blueberries? Get fresh blueberries when they're ripe. And by the way, you can also even use frozen because the strawberries and blueberries, even though they're sweet, so I'm not complaining about the sugar part, I'm talking about the added sugar part, not the natural sugar in the fruit. Strawberries have ellagic acid, cuts off the blood supply to the tumor. Blueberries have anthocyanins, which give blueberry their color, their natural dark blue color. That cuts off the blood supply to tumors. Add your own good stuff. Don't rely on the factory, the manufacturer, to come up with the stuff for you that actually might tip the odds against your favor. One step forward, two steps back. Don't do it. Whole fat yogurt, cut your own fruit into it. Want to put a little drizzle of honey, like the Greeks do, maybe a sprinkling of crushed nuts. Listen, that's a really healthy breakfast that can help you tip the odds in your favor against cancer. The other thing that yogurt does is by helping your good gut bacteria ramp up, it improves your metabolism, helps you improve regulation of your blood lipids, and actually can help to fight harmful body fat. All right. When you remove harmful body fat, visceral fat, guess what? You lower inflammation in your body. So here's something that can help tip the odds in your favor against cancer and help you lose weight. Yogurt, whole yogurt, is that. And if you cut up your own fresh, ripe fruit, now you're adding polyphenols that are present in fruits in order to be able to enhance the benefits of this dairy product, which is actually yogurt.
Dr. Lee recommends coconut yogurt with berries because it's a nutritious and delicious dessert that supports your health and helps protect your body. Coconut yogurt is dairy-free, making it a great alternative for those avoiding dairy. It's also rich in healthy fats, which are important for keeping your cells and organs working well. According to a review in Helion, a study looked at how coconut kernel extract can help fight skin cancer. The researchers wanted to see if coconut kernel extract could protect against a type of skin cancer called squamous cell carcinoma. They tested different amounts of coconut kernel extract on mice to see if it would stop the cancer from forming. The results were exciting. Mice that received the highest dose of coconut kernel extract did not develop any tumors, while the mice that did not receive the extract did get tumors. Even the lower doses of coconut kernel extract helped reduce the number of tumors. The study also found that coconut kernel extract helped boost the mice's natural defenses against damage, which is important because too much damage can lead to cancer. This information is useful because it shows that coconut might be a good way to help prevent skin cancer. Yogurt also boasts cancer prevention benefits. According to a review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a study looked at how eating yogurt might affect the risk of getting colorectal cancer, which is a type of cancer that affects the colon and rectum. Researchers followed two big groups of people, one group of women and another group of men, for many years. They found that people who ate yogurt regularly had a lower chance of getting a certain type of colon cancer, especially if they had been eating it for a long time. The study suggested that eating yogurt might help keep our guts healthy by adding good bacteria that can help our bodies fight off diseases. Berries, like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, are packed with antioxidants. These antioxidants help fight harmful substances in the body that could damage cells and increase the risk of cancer. The combination of coconut yogurt and berries provides a tasty treat that supports your immune system and helps reduce inflammation, making it a great choice for a healthy, cancer-fighting dessert. Dr. Lee recommends berries because they are packed with nutrients that can help keep your body healthy and protect against diseases like cancer. Berries, such as blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, are full of antioxidants. These are special compounds that fight off harmful substances in your body called free radicals, which can damage cells and lead to illness. Berries also have natural chemicals like ellagic acid and quercetin that may stop cancer cells from growing or even help destroy them. What makes berries even better is that they are high in fiber, which helps your digestion and keeps your gut healthy by feeding good bacteria. A healthy gut is important for a strong immune system. Plus, berries have a low glycemic index, which means they won't cause big spikes in your blood sugar, making them a great snack for people watching their weight or managing diabetes. Here's a budget-friendly coconut yogurt with berries recipe that you can easily incorporate into your diet. Start by using a plain, unsweetened coconut yogurt, which is often available in affordable store brands. Scoop the yogurt into a bowl and top it with a handful of frozen mixed berries, as they are more cost-effective than fresh berries and still packed with cancer-fighting nutrients. For added texture and nutrition, sprinkle on some inexpensive sunflower seeds or oats, and if desired, add a drizzle of honey or a dash of cinnamon for extra flavor. This simple, budget-friendly dessert is a healthy way to satisfy your sweet cravings without overspending. If you've found value in this video so far, and appreciate the many hours of effort that went into creating it, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment to support the channel. Chia seed pudding.
Is your omega-3 fatty acids. Sometimes they're called PUFAs, P-U-F-A. That stands for polyunsaturated fatty acid, okay? And the name is accurate. These are healthy fats. Now, you can get these healthy fats from plant-based foods, okay? You get the precursor, linoleic acid. Chia seeds have them as an example. When you eat them, your body has to convert the linoleic acid from the chia seed. It converts it into omega-3s, all right? And it's actually a useful thing if you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan to know that seeds like chia seeds can actually be a good source of omega-3s.
Dr. Lee recommends chia pudding as a dairy-free dessert that not only satisfies sweet cravings, but also supports cancer prevention. Chia seeds are a powerful source of omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, a factor linked to cancer development. They also have a unique ability to absorb liquid and create a creamy texture, making them a perfect base for a pudding that feels indulgent while being incredibly healthy. According to a review in Proceedings, a study looked at how chia seed oil affects breast cancer cells, specifically a type called MCF7. The researchers wanted to see if different amounts of chia seed oil could help or hurt these cancer cells. They tested various amounts of the oil, from very small to quite large, and checked how many cells were still alive after treatment. The results showed that when they used a small amount of chia seed oil, it helped reduce the number of cancer cells. However, when they used a larger amount, the oil actually made more cancer cells survive. This happened because the oil contains a type of fat called linoleic acid, which can help cancer cells grow when there's too much of it. This study teaches us that chia seed oil can be good for health, especially at lower amounts. What sets chia pudding apart is its ability to stabilize blood sugar levels, preventing the spikes that can fuel unhealthy cravings. This makes it a great option for enjoying something sweet without negatively affecting your health. Chia seeds are also rich in minerals like magnesium, which plays a role in repairing DNA and protecting cells from damage. Here's a budget-friendly chia seed pudding recipe that you can easily incorporate into your diet. Start by combining 3 tablespoons of chia seeds with 1 cup of an inexpensive plant-based milk, such as almond or oat milk, in a jar or bowl. Add a teaspoon of honey or a sprinkle of cinnamon for natural sweetness and flavor. Stir well to ensure the chia seeds are evenly distributed. Cover the mixture and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, or for at least 4 hours, allowing the chia seeds to absorb the liquid and create a pudding-like texture. For an affordable topping, add a handful of frozen berries or sliced banana. This simple, low-cost dessert is not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients to support your health. Banana ice cream.
The research found that those people who ate ice cream 2 or less times a week, all right, they got to eat ice cream 2 or less times. So not eating ice cream every day or twice a day, less than 2 times a week, all right, had a 12% lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease than those who didn't eat ice cream at all. Meaning if you ate some ice cream but only ate it twice a week, you actually decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease compared to people who just ate no ice cream at all. Surprising, right? Got to find an explanation for it. But when the data was looked at, analyzed by a number of people, like they were actually trying to say, this has got to be a mistake, or there must be some statistical error. Nope, it held up. Ice cream lowered the risk of cardiovascular disease, all right? And actually another study in 2014, 4 years earlier, showed that dairy products, including ice cream, actually was associated with a small decrease in the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. You'd think that something sugary and sweet like ice cream might increase your risk of diabetes. Nope, actually decrease the risk of diabetes. All right. Now, you should ask yourself, how could this possibly be true, right? As a researcher, we say, well, what's the mechanism of action? How does this all work out? Like, it seems too good to be true, so maybe it's not true. Is there any possible explanation? Well, here's my explanation, my theory. My theory is that ice cream, which is cold ice, actually, when you eat it, and gets into your stomach, guess what it does? It's like a bolus of cold down into your core, right? That triggers the temperature sensors in your gut, in your esophagus, in your stomach. Your temperature sensors feel like there's something really cold coming down the hatch into the stomach, and that triggers brown fat to turn on thermogenesis. All right. Brown fat is a kind of good fat that is packed with mitochondria, and these mitochondria turn on when they're activated. So brown fat is activated by cold temperature. So ice cream coming down, activating temperature sensor turns on the brown fat to make more heat, right? To warm up the body, right? And that's a process called thermogenesis. I made another video talking about thermogenesis. Thermogenesis is thermal, heat, genesis, how to make heat. Brown fat is a good fat that can generate heat when stimulated by cold and other foods, but stimulated by cold in this case to turn on the heat-making capacity, all right? And so what do I give an example for what it's like? It's like if you have a gas stove in your kitchen, you know, and you want to heat up some water or cook some soup, what do? You go to the knob and you turn it and it goes click, 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 whoosh, right? And then you've got a flame on your stovetop. And that's basically what brown fat does to trigger thermogenesis. Click, 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 whoosh. Now you got a flame. Now on the stove, the flame is actually being created because the system is drawing gas, fuel, from maybe a gas line or maybe a gas tank. And that's actually what's causing the burning. Now, when brown fat goes click, 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 whoosh, stimulated by cold temperatures, maybe like ice cream, this is my hypothesis on how all this works, all right, as a scientist, then where does it draw the fuel from? It draws the fuel to cause the warming, the thermogenesis, from harmful extra visceral fat. So the brown fat burns down the extra white fat, the visceral fat, the harmful fat, in order to be able to heat up the body. And that's my explanation, all right? Now, when you draw down and burn down the white fat, you're actually lowering inflammation. You're helping the fat hormones, actually like adiponectin and leptin, actually get back into mode, and that affects your appetite, so you're not eating so much, you're less likely to overeat. It also, adiponectin, when inflammation goes down, can function properly. What does adiponectin do? It's a fat-produced hormone that collaborates. It works together, hand in hand, with insulin in order to be able to draw glucose, blood glucose in for fuel. So what I'm actually saying is that my hypothesis of why ice cream could be beneficial for you is that it's cold, you eat it, it goes into your stomach, you're chilly on the inside, got to warm yourself up. It triggers the temperature sensor, the temperature alarms, which then says, we better heat up, guys. Brown fat is turned on, thermogenesis is turned on in order to generate that heat, click, 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 whoosh. It actually has to draw that fuel down, form harmful extra body fat. And now you're burning down fat by eating ice cream and therefore lowering inflammation. That's one plausible explanation for actually lowering the risk for metabolic conditions, type 2 diabetes, and potentially also decreasing the risk for cardiovascular disease as well. So turning on thermogenesis burns down harmful body fat. This lowers inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, overall improves your metabolic health. And this, it might be one explanation on how ice cream, as one of those dairy products to consider, could actually be helpful to improving your overall health and wellness and supporting longevity. Now, just like cheese, I'm going to tell you right now, big caveat. You're going to eat ice cream, do it only a little bit. Not even in moderation, I would say. Consider it a luxurious treat, all right? It's a special treat. Ice cream does have a lot of saturated fat, and it does have added sugar. Now, increased amounts of saturated fat and increased amounts of sugar can increase your risk of metabolic disease, including diabetes, cardiovascular disease. All that will compromise longevity. So again, we're talking about dairy products that can be helpful. I'm just pointing out the facts, all right? But don't you eat too much of that, because you're going to actually undo any benefits you have. All right, this is not a recommendation you eat a lot of cheese or ice cream, although I do recommend that you eat a lot of whole yogurt. But when it comes to ice cream, Look, honestly, it's kind of good news, right? I mean, who doesn't like ice cream, right? But if you're going to eat ice cream, eat it. I encourage you to eat it rarely and consider it an indulgent treat. All right, I got a couple more things to say about ice cream. If you're going to eat ice cream, choose only the best quality ice cream. All right, because you're not going to do it a lot anyway. Choose the ice cream that has only natural flavors, and look at the side of the ingredient label. No preservatives, no artificial flavoring, no artificial coloring. All right, and almost all ice cream has emulsifiers to thicken it. You might have a hard time avoiding that. So that's the other thing you got to be careful about. But you know, you go to the grocery store. There's usually a big freezer section that's got a lot of different types of ice cream. Choose the ones that appeal to you, but pick them up and look at that ingredient label and look for signs of anything that you won't be comfortable with, especially those artificial additives that you don't want to put in your system. All right. No artificial coloring, no artificial flavoring, no artificial preservatives. All right. Want to make your own ice cream? Go for it. It's actually quite a lot of work. It might be really fun and rewarding to do it. That's all I have to say about ice cream.
Dr. Lee recommends banana ice cream as a dairy-free dessert that satisfies sweet cravings while providing important health benefits. Made by simply blending frozen bananas, this treat offers a creamy texture similar to traditional ice cream, but without added sugars or unhealthy fats. Bananas are rich in natural sugars that provide a sweet flavor while delivering essential nutrients like potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and maintain heart health. Bananas also contain compounds such as dopamine and catechins, which have antioxidant properties that protect cells from damage. These properties support overall health and may contribute to reducing the risk of chronic diseases, including cancer. According to a review in Frontiers in Oncology, bananas might help prevent and fight cancer. Researchers looked at different parts of the banana plant and found that they contain special compounds that can stop cancer cells from growing. They studied how banana extracts, especially from the peel, affected breast cancer cells in the lab. The results showed that these extracts could kill cancer cells and stop them from multiplying. Additionally, bananas are a good source of resistant starch, which supports gut health by feeding beneficial bacteria in the digestive system. Banana ice cream can be customized with cancer-fighting toppings like fresh berries, nuts, or a sprinkle of cacao powder, making it a nutritious and versatile dessert. It's a simple and satisfying way to enjoy something sweet while nourishing your body. Here's a budget-friendly banana ice cream recipe that you can easily incorporate into your diet. Start by peeling and slicing ripe bananas. Ones that are slightly overripe are perfect and often more affordable. Freeze the slices in a sealed bag or container for a few hours or overnight. Once frozen, blend the banana slices in a food processor or blender until they reach a creamy, ice cream-like consistency. If desired, you can add a splash of plant-based milk to make blending easier. For extra flavor, mix in a teaspoon of cocoa powder, a pinch of cinnamon, or a drizzle of honey. Serve immediately or refreeze for a firmer texture. This simple and affordable dessert is a delicious way to satisfy sweet cravings while staying healthy. Almond butter energy balls.
A study of 800 people with stage 3 colon cancer getting treatment with chemotherapy found that those patients who are eating 2 handfuls of tree nuts a week, almonds, pistachios, walnuts, cashews, macadamia, pine nuts, they actually had a 50% decrease in the risk of mortality.
Dr. Lee recommends almond butter energy balls as a nutrient-dense, dairy-free treat that satisfies sweet cravings while supporting cancer prevention. Almond butter is packed with healthy fats, particularly monounsaturated fats, which help reduce inflammation in the body. It's also rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects cells from damage and supports immune function. According to a review in Nutrients, eating nuts like almonds can be good for your health and may help lower the risk of cancer. One big study looked at over 49,000 people who had cancer and found that eating about 28 grams of nuts each day, which is about a small handful, was linked to a lower chance of dying from cancer. This means that if you eat nuts regularly, it might help you live longer and stay healthier. The review also talked about how nuts, including almonds, can help our bodies in different ways. For example, they can lower bad substances in our blood that might lead to cancer and help reduce inflammation, which is when our body gets too hot and can cause problems. Here's a budget-friendly almond butter energy balls recipe that you can easily incorporate into your diet. In a mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of rolled oats, half a cup of almond butter, opt for store brands or buy in bulk to save money, and 2 tablespoons of honey or maple syrup. Add a handful of affordable add-ins like sunflower seeds, raisins, or chopped dates for extra flavor and texture. Mix the ingredients thoroughly until they form a dough-like consistency. Scoop out small portions and roll them into bite-sized balls. Refrigerate for at least 30 minutes to firm up. These no-bake, budget-friendly treats are perfect for satisfying sweet cravings while delivering a healthy boost of energy and nutrients.